Red 2 standing by, L4 lit, and in the green, welcome back to Pokemon Emerald version. We do have a little bit of exploring to do, and we do have a pretty capable team. Now, I was going to wind up heading out to Evergrande City, but then I remembered we've got to drag our sorry carcasses all the way across routes 132 through 134 and battle all the trainers there. Yes, I know nobody's really interested in more ocean, but it's kind of what we have to put up with. I think what I'm also going to do for now is change a few moves, because we are going to need HMs. To make it through the end game, whether I like it or not, we need Surf, which is fine, Strength, which is fine, Rock Smash, which is less fine, and then we do actually need Waterfall and Flash to make it through Victory Road. Also less fine. So, what do I do? Can anybody on my team learn Flash? Kiwi and Truffle, so that's pretty good. Now, I did finally pick up the TM for Toxic when I was doing some training. I finally went to the Fiery Path, moved the rocks around and went and got that. So, in all fairness, I could teach Truffle Flash. Who can learn Rock Smash? Surprisingly, Joel and Falcon. And Tsunama can temporarily have Waterfall, so we're at least set. But I do also want to teach Fly, which I'm going to temporarily replace Hidden Power with. Because I'm sick of having to constantly dredge up my Swellow anytime I want to actually go anywhere. What I'm going to try and do, I bought a lot of Max Repels. What I'm going to do is start us off with water. I'm sorry, but yeah, there's a lot of water, but we need to explore these routes, taking our one-way trips, so that we can experience every single battle. Get as much experience as we can before we go to the Elite Four, and it will also help me figure out what I'm doing and where I'm going when it comes to opening the sealed chamber. So let's cut along the north parts. So, as you can see, the currents will cause a fair bit of trouble. You can't do anything about them, you just have to move onwards. I believe this actually has... Oh yeah, that's right, I turned the animations off. And my team is also a lot stronger. I didn't realise all these Pokemon were at this particular level. I was kind of assuming it's a bit more post-game, closer to post-game. Alrighty, so... And I don't really have a tally of how many trainers are on each route. So it's a bit of a bother actually trying to get anywhere. You just have to navigate the currents as best you can, guess where you're going, find all the items, and hope. This is also the route where you can actually fish for Horsey, and I'll work out what I'm doing in regards to that. Because this is a bit of a pain in the butt. It's a lot of a pain in the butt, honestly. Genuinely no surprise that they didn't have anywhere near as many sea routes in later games. Because this was just preposterous. So we're on to Route 133 now. We basically just have to guess, find a bunch of trainers and go from there. You just sort of zigzag all over the place. It's perplexing to put it lightly, and I don't know the best route to go to find everyone. But it at least gives my team a little bit more experience, and then I can sort of cap things off when I wind up getting to the Elite Four. Because Victory Road is pretty long. Also, interesting note, I've probably said it before, but Seadra is the only non-poison type that gets poison point as an ability. So we get to just sort of wander along. Now, it's certainly possible that all these wild currents wind up serving as a natural defense They essentially serve as a natural defense against anybody who might try and sneak into the sealed chamber, because you have to take a very specific route to actually get to the sealed chamber in the first place. It's interesting. I know there is a bit of real life geography that goes into this. Alright, so we actually have a bird keeper who doesn't have an avian Pokemon. Good old Bananasaurus. Big and bulky and not the best in terms of stats, but still fun. Okay. Yeah, Tropius would probably be pretty good for long distance flights, so basically, if I wind up missing it, what I'll do is I'll make a checklist and I will try and battle as many people as I can on these routes. Probably not. You're not going to find anything easily. So this is pretty much just a demonstration of what it's like actually trying to get through the blasted route. It's not that fun. You know those floors where you spin around in Team Rocket's hideout and was sort of it's essentially like the arrow paths in the Ruby and Sapphire incarnation of Tate and Liza's gym. Now, how do I do this? I can't get to that middle section. Unless... No, I cannot. Which is disappointing. I have to come up at it a bit higher. So they've got trainers all over the little islands around these areas. Interestingly, the current... This must be really high level. When did my... Okay, I wasn't paying attention. When did my repel wear off? That's how bad it is. I'm just sort of looking around going, where is everything? Okay, so we made it back to Slateport. So that's pretty much how it goes. You have to enter in very specific spots, do very specific things, and just generally faff around and try to find all the trainers and guess where the sealed chamber is. So I'll probably I'll do what I can in this episode. Just out of stubbornness. So I probably need to go all higher up go as high as I can on this section. So that I can hit that other island. Because quite a few trainers were actually added in Emerald. Okay, so there's that. Now I think I need to go about here. Love Disc is not going to be a very good opponent. But at the same time, like I've said, Pokemon like Love Disc should exist because they're the difficulty setting. Now, it would be very nice to actually run into Pokemon like Love Disc earlier on. Having a good variety of Pokemon that you can find early and that aren't very strong is good because it allows you a lot more opportunity to test yourself. And that's a really good approach, actually having difficulty that you can set in your own way, in your own time, and actually trying out a whole lot of different Pokemon. And there we go. Like, it would be great for a challenge run to actually use a Love Disc. Yeah, there's absolutely no point trying to swim against the current. You just tire yourself out. What you have to do if you get caught in a rip is swim perpendicular to it. Like, the rip's carrying you out to sea, you swim 90 degrees across it. And make sure you're swimming in between the flags and just keep calm as well. There are particularly strong rips in Port Phillip Bay. It's apparently quite treacherous to navigate. You need skilled pilots and you need good knowledge of the actual bay and the various currents and the like, which can... rightio, got it. So we're at least finding more opponents, but yeah, Port Phillip Bay is actually a very effective natural defense. Always remember, Australia's landscape itself can be just as effective as protecting the country in general. I mean, I think during World War II, there was actually sort of a contingency plan to wind up sacrificing parts of northern Australia, the really, really difficult bits to get through, in the event of a Japanese invasion, sort of slowing them down. Not that people up north wound up forgetting that, and of course, I think we wound up scuppering a bit of that with the bombings of Darwin. But essentially, trying to invade Australia by land is a dumb idea. I mean, the terrain itself is brutally inhospitable, and there are parts of the desert to this day that are not actually mapped by European-descended Australians. You would probably have considerable indigenous knowledge of the areas, but you head out there on your own on an adventure, good luck. You need to be incredibly well prepared.
Or else you
Things
will
can change
die.
at a moment's notice. The rainforests are really fierce, and not to mention a whole array of dangerous animals along the way too. Like, with the terrible landscape and difficult terrain, I mean, then you wind up just having the spiders eat half your army and you don't want to go back. Alternatively, we really could just bore any invading army into submission by broadcasting debates about exactly what different interpretations of Australian football umpiring decisions mean. Sometimes I don't think the poor sods who are stuck umpiring the game genuinely know what the rules are meant to be. It's not their fault. The league keeps tinkering with things. But, yeah. I'm not entirely sure how I got onto that. For happier notes, I have actually been playing Mario Kart World for a bit. I've been playing F-Zero GX, and my god, I forgot how brutally hard story mode is. Okay, things on normal can be tough but doable, and my god, once you hit hard, the gloves come off and it gets mean. It's still a great game, it's just, I think they made it a little bit too hard. At least it's honest. It's very honest about the fact that it is difficult and it will beat the absolute daylights out of you. That's the thing I don't quite like with Mario Kart. Like, Mario Kart has the big advantage that it's, like, friendly, it's cheerful, it's easy to pick up and play. Whereas F-Zero is demanding skill right from the start, but... Oh... Okay, so we can't go any further. I need to pay more attention to where my repels go. Yep, standard rule. But yeah, the first actual race I did with a community was a knockout tour, and dead last. Got carted hard. Things got a bit better after that, but yeah, Mario Kart, it's exactly as bad as I thought it was going to be. Because you've got 24 players. You still wind up with a lot of items shoved up your jacksie. Right in front of a fisherman. So yeah, it can be brutal. Oh no! Oh no! No! Not this guy! Oh, thank heavens! That's going to be a problem. Can I knock it out? Let's see. The reason I was panicking is because when you see a fisherman with 6 Pokeballs, yeah, he really does actually subvert the Magikarp joke. But basically, you are in for a time. Because generally, these are the dicks with 6 Magikarps that just serve to waste your time. It wasn't funny the first time, and it's definitely not funny now. But yeah, at least this guy's a nice subversion. You think he's going to be that fisherman. And then he proves you wrong and we're all happy. Alright, so more Gyarados. It's still kind of tedious, because we do have to play through the Intimidate animation. But at least we're getting good experience. That's something. It's better than just wasting all our PP on Magikarp. That should be it, I think. Yep. Whew. That's much better. That was much nicer. whole bunch of items around here somewhere, but I haven't run into any. You have to slowly make your way along the base of the route. Run into a couple of trainers. Joel and Zanama will be the doubles partners. Damn! And yeah, there's nothing in the middle there, it's just water. Oh, that kind of sucks. Oh, that definitely sucks. Alright, we're changing Pokemon. I mean, I was really hoping that Dusclops learned Pain Split naturally, and it doesn't, which is sad. Maybe it does in later generations, you might be able to breed it on. But that has been the challenge. Because a lot of good moves are inaccessible until the Battle Frontier, which, as we know, sucks. Because it's really well built for competitive players. But it's really hard to build a competitive team in these games. It's a bit of a nuisance. It's also worth noting, though, that as games have given you more options to actually wind up building competitive teams, they haven't kept the battle frontiers and the like. And it's always made me sad, because being able to make things a lot more accessible, making those challenges more accessible, it's like, okay, you can build the teams. Fine, you still need the skills. You still need to know enough. Just having the Pokemon isn't necessarily enough. But being able to at least compete is worthwhile, and I kind of forgot that Stockpile doesn't boost defenses in this game. There we go, got rid of it. It would be nice to actually have those facilities back, because there's nothing wrong with giving people the option. Like, okay, put challenges in your game, by all means. But you don't have to do them. Striking that balance is nice, but having the opportunity to actually take on some different challenges is really, really nice. Oh, here we go. Rightio, so basically you wind up with these pairs. The two experts are meant to train together, and the two cool trainers are meant to work together. Alright. Shadow Punch here, a certain way. We actually go a Will-O-Wisp here, an Ice Beam there. That ought to do. Smart thing to do would be to take out Roselia, because otherwise Zanama's not going to have a good time. There we are, that'll hamper Kecleon a bit. Okay. There we go, this'll do. That's still doing good damage. At least we've gone for the physical moves this time around. Not making that mistake again. Metacam's an interesting one to use. Not that I've ever used it, but it would be worth it sometime. And again, that ties back to what I was saying with the difficulty. It gives you the opportunity, you can look at these things and go, oh, okay, I've got something different to use here. Ah, rude. Tsunama's not necessarily the best team player. Surf being able to Surf not hitting allies in Generation 3 was so good. Part of why Tame Liza was so easy in that game. And away we go. This should finish it off. So, I'm not sure if... I don't think Joelle gained any speed. I've got a whole lot of digging around to do as far as finding trainers goes. But we'll at least try. We'll pick this up. Protein. I think I can sell those. Unless the cat can have it. Yep, they've raised their speed enough. So what do we get if we go this way? Around. Okay, so I do need to reach that beach down there, but we've got one last trainer to battle. Which should be a good opportunity. And then we can wrap up the episode. And then I promise I'll go somewhere else. Maybe. Because I'll still have to find a few things. Oops, I forgot to switch Joelle out. Well, our best bet against this is indeed Falcon. So we'll just wrap it up with that. Well, that's handy. And there we go. Should be down for the count. And we win with plenty of experience. Well, thank you very much for joining me. Until next time, this is Red 2, returning to base.